is Thursday, the 1st of August. We're just leaving Arklow. So just for one day we were here. So yeah, made the decision that we're going to go to Kilmore Quay today. Not a lot of wind, and when it does come up, we'll be turning the corner and it's going to come up southwesterly on the nose. But the good news is, when I looked at the weather again this morning, it wasn't a 4-5, it was a 4, which is still unpleasant, but it's not quite so unpleasant as a 4-5. Oh, let's hope getting out of Arklow was easier than getting in. Well, that was easier, apart from just meeting a motorboat coming in, and then right behind me some kind of a workboat. So it was all a bit manic at the end, but very smooth exit water wise. So yeah, very little wind, but very smooth. Yeah, no swell. Yesterday when I come out of Dublin, there was a big swell, and the flow was rocking about like nobody's business all the way, really, all the way here. Not far from Kilmore Quay now. We're just going through a little shallow spot called the Patrick's Bridge, which I suppose is a little bit like our Spitway. So keeping between those buoys, and then we're heading now for plenty of depth. At the moment. We're through. We went down to about between 5.5 and 6 metres, which compared to the Spitway is absolutely loads of water. Another difficult entry, tiny little entry, and there's kids swimming everywhere, and no one's answering the phone. That's it, we're just coming in, and I think I'm going to go on that hammerhead. Only thing to greet me was a little seal, and he's gone. We're on. Welcome to Kilmore Quay. Well, what's the time? 3:30. Is that too early for a Guinness? Probably not. Probably not. Well, I'm going to go and have one anyway. Right, it's beautiful though, warm, sunny, and there was headwind, but it didn't really go above 12-13 knots, so it wasn't too bad at all. Oh, I'm absolutely knackered. That's it, we've made it to Kilmore Quay. Cheers. Oh, delicious. I needed that. Was bloody lovely. Evening all. Well, it is Friday the 2nd of August and it's about 6 o'clock in the evening, and tomorrow it looks okay for us to get to Milford Haven. So it's a long old passage, 71.5 miles. So it's probably, well, it is definitely the biggest one that I've done on my own, because we did 100-mile from Lowestoft to Grimsby with John. So this would be the biggest one that I've done on my own. And it's going to I'd take about 12 to 14 hours, I think. The wind looks quite good. It's been blowing all day today, absolutely awful, and nobody's come in or gone out all day today. Been blowing southwesterly, but tonight and in the early hours of the morning it's set to go westerly, and I'll show you the wind in a minute. And so hopefully we should have a nice sail over. And it's been wet and windy today, proper southwesterly weather, and very unpleasant here. What a difference to yesterday, because it was absolutely gorgeous yesterday. But hey ho, that's the way it goes. So I'll just show you what we're doing. So this is our route. So here we are in Kilmore Quay. So you've got to come down here, go over the St Patrick's Bridge. So we'll be leaving tomorrow about 5 o'clock, and high water at Kilmore Quay is at 5:30. So we've got plenty of water to get out of the marina, and enough water to get over the bridge without worrying. And then I'm going to come across, and we've got where is it? Oh yeah. So we've got shipping lanes up here, so just got to be a little bit wary of the shipping lanes. So it's that's 120 degrees ish. So the first 6 hours the tide is going to be pushing us northeast, and then for the second 6 hours tide's going to be going southwest. So I'm going to see how it goes. I know when I've crossed the channel I've just pointed in the right direction and allowed the tide to take us one way, and then allowed the tide to take us down the other way. So I'm going to see how that works for tomorrow. And then the unpleasant bit is getting past what they call the smalls. And so I've spoken to one chap, and he's only done it once, but he went underneath the smalls. The only thing is that when I get to the smalls, the tide's going to be pushing me down, which he said he didn't want to be pushed onto the smalls, but I can appreciate that. But then the tide's going to be pushing me down, and then at the end of the tide I've got to it'll still be pushing me down, and then I've got to climb my way up to Milford Haven. So I'll see how it goes. I will just see how it goes. And then I was going to come in between here, and the chap that I spoke to said that he was speaking to someone who'd come down here just recently, and I don't know what the weather was like or the tide was like, but he said it was awful, really rough. So it's not going to make much difference, about a mile. So I've just put myself underneath to avoid all the any unpleasantness through Broad Sound. And then and when we come in, I'll have to radio through to port control and make sure it's all right for me. This is where the tankers come in the West Channel, so you mustn't go anywhere near that. So I need to get across as quickly as possible. Then I'm going to follow this side, the south side, and then that's Milford Haven marina, but they are 100% full, and I think they've been 100% full all summer actually, so basically they don't take visitors. So we've actually got a berth in Neyland Marina, so no lock to go through. We haven't got, this is 24-hour access in this part of the marina, and there's a sill to go over here. And again, if we get in at the right time, I think tide's at 6:45 in the evening at Milford Haven. So by the time we get in, 13 hours, the tide will be in and we get over the sill. And we've been given our berth number already. So we are here, C5. And then I can phone through, see if anybody can help me. But at 6:30 they're having their berth holders party, so I dare say I won't disturb them, but I dare say I won't disturb them to help me with my lines, but I dare say I will gate crash the party. So yeah, that's tomorrow. And we'll just have a look at the wind. So here we are, Kilmore Quay, and there we are, Milford Haven. So this is what the wind's going to be doing. And then by 6 o'clock we should be in the river, where it'll be about a force 4, but more westerly than southwesterly, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully more westerly than southwesterly, about 4, maybe gusting of 5 at some point, maybe in the middle. And just like before, it got a bit tricky in the middle, the wind come up in the middle. So yep, just see how it goes. But then hopefully by the time we come in the evening, the winds come down and it'll be quite a pleasant sail or motor through the river. Morning all. Saturday 3rd of August, and we're just leaving Kilmore Quay. So thank you very much, Kilmore Quay. Beautiful, beautiful place. Oh, well, they've all been beautiful, to be honest. So yep, across the Irish Sea today, 71.5 miles to Milford Haven. So yeah, here we go. By fishing trawlers. Didn't keep me awake all night because I had my earplugs in. And we are just come through, back through St Patrick's Bridge, which was a bit jolly, and a bit of an acceleration zone, I think, as we were up to over 8 knots going through. Interestingly enough, there's the port hand buoy, not lit. Oh, that's very helpful. That's it. Bye, Island. Thank you very much. Very pleasant sailing along your coast. We're almost there, just coming into Neyland Marina. Couldn't get into Milford Haven, they were full up. But Ian and Jane are in there now and they said they've got loads of space, but hey ho. I am very glad I made this earlier. This is the lovely Neyland Marina where we arrived last night. Very nice, very well protected. Huge tidal range though, absolutely huge. And we get a mention on the Salty Lasses, a YouTube video.
Let's just go with the flow, yeah? Let's go with the flow. No, it left. There was a boat called Florence. And it's definitely gone. It's gone. Oh, maybe that knock we heard this morning was her. It could well have been. Joe, I thought it was you on flow. Sorry we missed you. We just didn't get up quick enough when we heard the knock. Right, so have you released that?
All in all, it is Monday, the 5th of August. We're in Milford Haven, a wild, wet and windy Wales. Now, I was hoping that we were going to be able to get to Padstow tomorrow. That's where we need to go. It was looking like a 4-5 westerly, going across the Bristol Channel, which is about another 71 miles for me, so exactly the same distance from crossing the Irish Sea to here. But I've checked the weather again this morning. I'll show you in a minute, and it is. I thought if the weather goes down and it's slightly less, and the waves are slightly less, the wave height was up to 1.8 meters. If it went down to 1.5 meters and it was the majority of a force 4, then we'd go. But that hasn't happened. The wave height is still quite very high, and it's a 5-6, so it's out for us. And I'll show you it's not going to go down because it's being driven by a big pressure system coming in from the west. So there, I've just looked at the weather. I've just looked at the weather for the next week, and there is not a window for us. There is not a window. So we're going to go home. So yeah, I'm going to go home for a week. Go and mow the lawn. So that's basically our route. So that's 71 miles from Milford Haven down to Padstow, right straight across the Bristol Channel, which is a little bit unforgiving. And this is windy, so this is the big system that's coming through, that's driving the weather. So so we're coming down from here to here, so Milford Haven down to Padstow. So this is tomorrow. This is the only window that we had, but you can see it's certainly not going to decrease. If anything, it's going to increase, and it's going southwesterly more than westerly, which is going to be very, very unpleasant. It's Flo can do it, and I can do it, but it'll be very, very uncomfortable and very unpleasant. And coming across the Irish Sea a couple of days ago, and we only had a westerly, and it didn't go above 12, 13, 14 knots of wind. But the swell, the wave height, the swell was just awful, and both Flo and myself got knocked about like nobody's business. So I know what it's like. And then we go through. There's Wednesday. Is it coming through? Thursday. And it's going to be another 12, 13 hour trip, so I need that I need a proper weather window. So there's that bit there, but it doesn't last for long. it's over and done with quite quickly. So possibly, let's have a look. Yeah, it's so far ahead now. We're looking at a week ahead, and I don't really look on the weather for more than a couple of days ahead. So, but it definitely looks like there's going to be nothing for us for at least a week. So yeah, back to Sheppey I go.